Hello, grade 1 students. How have you been? Did you have a great weekend? I hope so. And I also hope that you are ready to start with a new learning session this week. Today is Happy Sunday, April 12th, 2020. Welcome back to our science class. Are you ready, grade 1 students? Let us see. Please check first if you have these materials with you. Your science textbook, your copybook, and your pencil. Do you have everything with you? That's great. Then we can start. It's review time. How much do you remember from the lesson that we had last week? If you see a light bulb, what name comes into your mind? What is the name of this man? Do you still remember him? Wow, you have a very good memory. You are correct. This man is Thomas Edison. We have to remember that Thomas Edison did not invent the electric bulb. He made the light bulb better. Many of the early inventions of the electric bulb would burn out or overheat, making them inefficient or dangerous. Because of that, Thomas Edison determined to make a light bulb that was safe and efficient. That is the kind of light bulb that we have nowadays. So when we see a light bulb, what name do we remember? It is Thomas Edison. Last week, we learned about light energy. I want to find out how much you remember about this lesson, so I prepared some sentences. You should be able to tell whether a sentence is true or false. Let's start with the first one. Light is a kind of energy. Light is a kind of energy. Is this sentence true or false? If your answer is A, you are correct. Yes, it is true that light is a kind of energy. Second sentence, we can see light energy. We can see light energy. Is this A true or B false? What is your answer? If your answer is A, then you are correct. It is true that we can see light energy. So what part of the body do we use to see the light energy? Right, we use our eyes. What sense do we use to see the light energy? Correct, we use our sense of sight. Number 3. Light shines through a clear window. Light shines through a clear window. Is this sentence A true or B false? What is your answer? If your answer is A, then you are correct. Light shines through a clear window because a clear window is an example of a transparent material. So we said that light shines through a transparent material or object. What are other examples of transparent materials? We have a clear glass, a fish bowl, magnifying glass, and an eyeglasses. Light shines through transparent materials, that means no shadow is formed. Number 4. Light pass through opaque objects. Light pass through opaque objects. Is this A, true, or B, false? If your answer is A, then you are not correct, because light pass through opaque objects is not true. Light doesn't pass through opaque objects. What are examples of opaque objects? We have your bags, your pants, your shoes, a wooden door, and yourself. When you go and stay under the sunlight, what do you see? You can see your shadow. Why? Because your body doesn't allow the light to pass through it. What does it do? It blocks it. Remember that a shadow forms when something blocks the light. Your body blocks the light or the sunlight. That's why a shadow is formed. Just imagine what happens when the sunlight can pass through our body. OMG. Number 5. Light travels in a curved line. Light travels in a curved line. Is the sentence A, true, or B, false? What is your answer? If your answer is A, then you are not correct. Why? Light doesn't travel in a curved line. It only travels in a straight line. And the last one, number 6. Light doesn't bounce off objects that are smooth and shiny. Light doesn't bounce off objects that are smooth and shiny. Is this sentence A, true, or B, false? What is your answer? If your answer is A, then again, you are not correct. Light does bounce off objects that are smooth and shiny. Do you remember the example I gave on how we can know that the color of an apple is red? The apple is an example of an object which is smooth and shiny. So when the light strikes the apple, it bounces off to the eyes, and then we could see that the color is red. This is also the reason why we are able to see ourselves in front of a mirror. When we see ourselves in front of a mirror, the light will strike on the mirror, and that same light will bounce off, go into our eyes. When it reaches our eyes, then we can see ourselves, or we can see our image. So light doesn't bounce off objects that are smooth and shiny is false. I guess you're now ready to start with a new lesson. And to start with, let us do first the first task. In this task, You need to send your answer as a voice message to your teacher. Okay, so are you ready? Close your eyes. Open your ears and listen to the sounds around you. Be sure that your eyes are closed. Close your eyes and listen to the sounds around you. What sounds do you hear? Can you hear chirping birds? Can you hear your brother talking? Can you hear the sound of the television? What sounds do you hear? Describe the sounds. Is it loud? Is it soft? Do you feel happy listening to it? Or you feel irritated? Listen to the sounds. At the count of 5, you can open your eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, all your eyes should be opened now. Okay, so what sounds did you hear around you? There were many sounds, of course, but share one sound that you heard. You have to describe this sound. So for example, you heard the sound of chirping birds. Is it loud or soft? Was the sound pleasing to your ears or it was irritating? Okay, share only one sound that you heard. You have to describe it. Send it as a voice message to your teacher now. Why did I ask you to do an activity about using only your ears? Because our lesson for today will be about sound. So what is the title of our lesson? What is sound? Do you have any idea what sound is? Let's try to find out as we move on to our lesson. What is our lesson objective? I will provide evidence of how sounds are made. So while we are having the lesson or after this lesson, you should be able to provide or give proof of how sounds are made. So you have to listen carefully so you would be able to give these evidences. Open your ears. This time, please get your textbooks and open it on page 29. Page 29. Are you there yet? Let's start. Sound is a kind of energy. So remember that sound is an energy. We can hear sound energy. So when we say hear, what part of our body do we use again? Very good. We use our ears. Sound comes from objects that vibrate. Where do the sound come from? It comes from objects that vibrate. What is the meaning of the word vibrate? You will understand this better as you do this other activity. Alright, so everybody, let's try this. You can do this activity while you are sitting down or while standing. So it's up to you. If you want to stand, you can. But if you want to just remain sitting down, then you can sit down. Okay. Can you please touch your neck? Alright. Do you know where your neck is? Okay. Now, put one finger on your neck. Only one finger. Put it on your neck and say ah as loud as you can. Okay? Ah, ah, ah. You can say it as loud as you can. Now, say it as soft as you can. As soft as you can. Ah, ah, ah. All right. Did you feel something? What did you feel? All right. So in this activity, you can only hear the sound, but you can feel the vibration inside your throat. So while you were saying ah, whether it was soft or loud, okay, there was this thing which seemed to be moving inside your throat. You call that your vibration. Sound comes from objects that vibrate. What is the meaning of vibrate? Vibrate means to move back and forth very fast. It means to move back and forth very fast. Can you say vibrate? One more time. Vibrate. Spell the word. V-I-B-R-A-T-E. Vibrate. So when we say back and forth movement, it goes forward and then backward, forward, backward, forward, backward, forward, backward. And it happens very fast. Again, everybody say vibrate. Very good. Why do we hear a sound? We hear a sound because of a vibration. But before it happens, there should be a source. Sound comes from a source. The source is an object that vibrates. One example of source is a speaker. When the speaker vibrates, a sound is produced. The vibration will travel through the air like a wave until it reaches the ear. That's the only time we can say that there is a sound. Look at the next example. When the girl strikes the string of the violin, the strings vibrate, creating a sound. This vibration travels through the air until it reaches the ear. The ear will then send it to the brain. Then the brain will tell you that you heard music or pleasant sound from the violin. The same thing happens when you hit a tuning fork. When you hit a tuning fork, it vibrates. The vibration will travel through the air until it reaches the ear of a person. Let us look at this last example. You can see here a picture of a mom who is singing and a father listening to the song of the mom. So when the mom sings, her larynx vibrates. This vibration creates a sound which will travel through the air until it reaches the father's ear. Once it reached the father's ear, he can tell if the song of the mom is good or not. What do you think will the father say? Of course, the father will say that the mom's voice is good, right? Or no? Okay, does your mom sing? How about your dad? Does he sing? When they sing, do you listen to them? Does it give you a pleasant sound or unpleasant sound? Okay, so you will understand more of this vibration tomorrow because I will let you watch a video tomorrow about sound and vibration. Okay? Every day we can hear two kinds of sounds. The first kind is the pleasant sound, or we call it music because we feel happy when we listen to it. And the second one is the irritating sound, or we call it the noise because we don't feel happy or we feel sad when we listen to it. Let us try to look at some examples of the pleasant sounds and unpleasant sounds. For the pleasant sounds, we have the sound coming from a piano. We have sound coming from a chirping bird. The sound of a baby laughing. Oh, it's really so nice listening to a baby laughing or giggling. The sound from a violin and the sound from a guitar. So these sounds are good to listen to. So when you listen to them, you feel good, you feel happy, right? Let us look into examples of unpleasant sounds or bad or noise. The sound of a siren of an ambulance. We could also hear the siren sound from a police car. The sound from a motorcycle. Oh gosh, this is really loud. I really don't like it. The sound of a barking dog. Oh, especially at night when you're sleeping or when you want to fall asleep and you hear the sound of a barking dog. Oh, it's really irritating. The sound of a drilling machine, especially when there is a road which is under construction or some buildings which are under construction and they use a drilling machine. Oh my, it's really very irritating. The sound of a baby crying. Oh, do you like listening to the sound of a baby crying or the sound of anyone crying? It's not good, right? And in the morning when you still don't want to wake up and you hear the sound of the alarm clock, it's really, really bad. Okay, so these are just examples of pleasant sounds and irritating sounds. Maybe for some, the pleasant sound could sound bad for them, And for some people, unpleasant sound could sound good for them. So it depends on some people. So these are just examples, and there are more. Can you name some examples? Can you give other examples of pleasant sounds and irritating sounds? Let us look at the vibration of the pleasant sounds and the irritating sounds. Look at the first picture. It shows us the vibration of a pleasant sound. As you can see, it is regular and it is uniform. Okay, that's why when you listen to it, it's very pleasing. So when you listen to the music, they sound really good. But when the sound becomes loud or becomes very loud, then you will not think that it is a good sound. You will already consider this to be noise, right? So see, the vibration of the noise is irregular and disordered. What happens when you pluck the guitar strings? When you pluck the guitar strings, you can hear the sound when the strings vibrate. So you can see the red thing there. So that means there is a vibration. So when you stop plucking the guitar strings, of course, the strings will not vibrate. Would you be able to hear a sound? Right, you won't hear any sound. Also, when you talk on the phone, you can hear sound. How does it happen? Signals travel through the air from one phone to another. This is the reason why phones can let us talk to someone far away. Musical instruments vibrate when they are played. Examples of these instruments are your violin, piano, and the guitar. So for you to understand that these instruments vibrate when played, do this activity. So of course you have to clean your desk first. Ready? Now tap the desk as if you are playing drums. Tap the desk as if you are playing drums. Now get your one hand and touch the desk. Get your one hand and touch the desk. Do you feel anything? Yes or no? When you don't feel anything, you do it again. Tap the desk as if you are playing drums and then touch the desk. Do you feel anything? All right. So what you feel is a vibration. All right. So vibration happened because you played or you tapped the desk. That is the same thing that happens when an instrument is being played. It's time to check for your understanding. This is a question. How do speakers for a computer, radio, or stereo make sounds? How do speakers for a computer, radio, or stereo make sounds? If you understood our lesson, you will be able to answer this question. So what is your answer? How do these make sounds? The answer is they vibrate. Do you have the same answer? Very good. So don't forget that when they vibrate, they make a sound. When they don't vibrate, then they don't make a sound. Get ready for your task 2. For this task, you need your copybook. So get your copybook now. So this is what you will do. Tap your pencil on your desk. Tap your pencil on your desk. What happens? Tap your pencil on your desk. What happens? Write your answer on your copybook. That's it for today. I hope you were able to understand the lesson. I hope you learned something. Have a good day, grade 1 students. I'm gonna see you tomorrow.